Hi Eagles, it's story time again. Really looking forward to the time when we can actually read these stories together in person, but until then, we can do it virtually over the internet. And I hope you're enjoying all of the stories that have been put on our YouTube channel. I also hope that you're enjoying all of your online learning, and it's been great seeing the pictures that you've been sending in for our slideshows. Today, I'm going to read the book, Meanwhile, Back at the Ranch. The author is Trinka Hakes Noble, and the illustrator is Tony Ross. You'll know when it's your turn to participate. There are going to be parts that are repeated in this story. Feel free to join in. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Rancher Hicks lived out west. As far as the eye could see, there was nothing, not even a roaming buffalo, so nothing much ever happened.
"I think I'll drive to town and see what's happening," said Rancher Hicks. "Want to ride along, Elna?"
He asked his wife.
"No, I got to dig potatoes,"
said Elna. So Rancher Hicks climbed into his truck and he drove 84 kilometers to the town of Sleepy Gulch. He stopped at the post office to look at the new wanted posters, but they were the same ones that had been there for 12 years. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the cat just had kittens in Elna's sewing basket when the phone rang.
"Hello?"
Mrs. Elna Hicks?
"Yes."
Mrs. Hicks, you've just won a brand new wall-to-wall frost-free super cool refrigerator with a built-in automatic food maker.
"What? I never!"
exclaimed Elna. The delivery men are on their way. Meanwhile, back at Sleepy Gulch, Rancher Hicks strolled on over to the barber shop for a whisker trim and to hear the latest gossip. "So what's new, Bob?" asked Rancher Hicks. "Well, back in the spring of '49, we had a rainstorm. You wouldn't believe. Why, it rained for pretty near a whole 5 minutes. Folks here thought it'd never stop. Nothing much happened since." Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the dog just had puppies when the postman came up the drive with a special delivery. Elna opened it. It was from her great Aunt Edith's will, and it said, "My dear Elna, I am leaving you my entire estate, which is worth a bundle. Your loving great Aunt Edith. P.S. Enclosed is a winning lottery ticket I didn't have time to cash in." So Elna cashed in the lottery ticket and put new siding on the house. She added a new wing for the wall-to-wall refrigerator and a new den for all the puppies and kittens. Oh boy. Oh. Meanwhile, back in Sleepy Gulch, Rancher Hicks moseyed on over to Millie's Mildew Luncheonette. "What's on the menu today, Millie?"
"Well, I got potatoes mashed, potatoes fried, potatoes boiled, potatoes baked, potatoes roasted, potatoes stewed, potatoes scalloped, potatoes steamed, and 1 egg."
"Sounds great," said Rancher Hicks. "I'll have one of each and a side order of fries." Meanwhile, back at the ranch, all the pigs had piglets. Elna finally started to dig potatoes, and you guessed it, she struck oil. The oil men came and gave her lots of money. They started 8 new oil wells and a new oil refinery that day. Elna took the money and had a very stylish sty built for all the pigs and all the piglets. Oh boy. Meanwhile, back in Sleepy Gulch, Rancher Hicks headed on over to the general store to check out the checker game. "Howdy, boys, what's new?" "Well, Bernie here just got a king and it only took him 2 weeks," said Kurt.
"And I just jumped 2 of Kurt's men in a little over 2 hours,"
said Bernie. "Wow, what a game," said Rancher Hicks. "I can't wait to tell Elna." Meanwhile, back at the ranch, all the cows had calves when a silver limo swung into the driveway. Out jumped a Hollywood movie producer and a hairdresser. "Elna Hicks, I'm going to make you a movie star," he said. So Elna went on a diet and lost 20 pounds. The hairdresser dyed her hair blonde and painted her lips red. The movie producer gave her a script, a bikini, and a large stack of dollar bills. So Elna had a glamorous cow palace built for all the cows and all the calves, and she studied her script. Meanwhile, back at Sleepy Gulch, Rancher Hicks started to cross the main street when he saw it.
Amazing!
He gasped. Folks ran to see it.
Incredible!
They said. A crowd gathered. "This here's really big news," said the newspaper editor.
We better wake up the mayor,
Said the sheriff. Then the mayor came.
I ain't never seen nothing like it.
Said the mayor. So he declared it a town holiday, and the whole town watched it for hours and hours and hours. And finally, the turtle crossed the main street. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, all the horses had colts when the president's helicopter landed in Elna's yard. "Elna Hicks," he said, "you've got the finest horses west of Washington. I'm going to make you a diplomat. Please deliver 2 of your finest horses to the Queen of England." The president paid Elna for the horses and gave her a diplomat's diploma and an autographed picture of himself. "And don't forget, Elna, vote for me." So Elna took the money and had a very stately stable built for all the horses and all the colts. Meanwhile, back in Sleepy Gulch, the sun began to sink slowly in the west, and Rancher Hicks felt bad that Elna had missed all the excitement, so he stopped and he bought her a box of Cracker Jacks. "This here'll make her day," he said. Then he climbed into his truck and he drove 84 miles back to the ranch. Elna met Rancher Hicks at the mailbox. He gave her the box of Cracker Jacks and he told her about all of his excitement.
Shoot, I miss everything,
said Elna. Then Rancher Hicks turned around. "What the hey?" Meanwhile, Elna opened her box of Cracker Jacks and inside found a real diamond ring. The end. I hope you enjoyed the story. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Eagles, I look forward to seeing you soon. Keep well, and remember, do as your parents tell you to do when it comes to your online learning, and have lots of fun at home. And remember, keep soaring above the clouds, because that's what eagles do.